Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Jada Toys Mega Man Fireman. And if you guys want to hear me gush about how great this line is, go back and check out the Mega Man review. This one's going to be a little bit more straightforward because I can't just spend every video gushing about how much of a good job they're doing. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter this time, but I'm going to do a little bit of gushing because Jada is blowing the doors off of the competition at this point, and this is another wonderful release. Very, very nicely done. There's not a whole lot more they could do to this line to make it better at the price point. There are, of course, still some things here and there that could be improved upon, and I'm going to talk about that. This is still a review, but these are damn good figures. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, now before we get into the figure, I do want to get into my package just a little bit. It is the same packaging as Mega Man, other than, obviously, the character-specific stuff. It's very nice packaging. I love it. 3 sides to the window and a top piece. Very good. On the back, they changed the photo around so he's front and center. And then you can see the other options that will be coming. Looking forward to these two specifically. I remember them being main characters in the cartoon. I could be remembering incorrectly, but I think these two are like the main 2 bad guys, right? Maybe not. Anyway, very, very good packaging. I like it. I want to keep it out real quick just to mention the artwork for these guys was a lot more dynamic, I think, than the figures are being made. I didn't mind it for Mega Man as much. I do wish this guy was just a little bit more edgy in the design, just a little bit. And I mean that literally, like his helmet was a little bit thicker and the fire was a little bit more dynamic. So yeah, there is room for improvement. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to just say, oh, Jada's the best, Hasbro sucks. There's room for improvement, but that doesn't mean it's not a damn good figure. And remember, $20 price point. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. His height to the top of his head is 11.5 centimeters, including the fire, 14.5. That's going to be about, let's say, 4 5/8, and then closer to 5 3/4. Little bit of height on him because of the flames. Here he is up against a Marvel Legends figure. Good scaling. I'll have photos at the end with him up against Mega Man. I don't need to pull them out right now. They're basically the same size. All right, so there you go. That's what he looks like. Let's talk about the aesthetic. But first, a question of the day. Are you guys all in on this line? And if so, is it because you're Mega Man fans, or is it because it's a good line, or because it's cheap, or what is your reason for buying this line, and how much of it are you buying? For me, I'm all in. The more Nintendo-based, and I know Mega Man's not strictly Nintendo, but we haven't gotten a lot of video game properties from back in the day, and I did play it on Nintendo. Anyway, the more old video game properties, let's say, the better for me. I'm a video game fan first and foremost before action figures. So that's this is right up my alley. I love it. All right, let's talk about the aesthetic. Just like Mega Man, we have different finishes from satin to a little bit closer to a gloss. There's shading throughout. It's very subtle, but there is light gray shading on here. Is there shading on the red? I think there is. I think it's very subtle. It looks like it's there. It's very hard to see because of the gloss. It's kind of hiding the shading, but I believe it's there, especially up here. It looks like it's there, so that's nice. There is definitely shading on the light gray too. The helmet, very nicely done. Very nicely done. Good details. Again, could be a little bit more dynamic, a thicker helmet so that it wasn't quite as flush with the face, but what's there is very clean. I like it a whole bunch. The flame, like I said, not as dynamic as it could be, but very nicely executed. Love it. And then same thing for the hands / fire thingies. They're not really hands. Very nicely done. And they went to the effort of actually painting the insides there, which some companies might neglect to do. Very, very well done. Aesthetically, they nailed it. Like I said, there's not a whole lot more they could do other than like the things I did mention, but it's not a lot. And at the price point, I'm not saying it needed to happen. I'm just saying it could have happened. Very, very nicely done. For $20, aesthetically, 9.9. It's great. This line is just going to keep getting high scores because it's at a very reasonable price point, and they're putting in more effort than I would even say they needed to make these a smash hit, which I love, and that's the way companies should do it. They should give you as much as they possibly can for as little profits as they can manage. That's the best way to sell as many things as possible. Hasbro's doing it the other way around, using the excuse, well, shareholders. If you sell more products at a lower profit per product, you can actually make more money. Anyway, very nicely done aesthetically. Let's talk about accessories. No alternate hands, he just has the 2 fire pieces. Could be better there. No alternate head flame. I think that could be included. Definitely a more dynamic head flame would be really nice. But we do get the alternate head, which is mostly just him looking to the side and slightly furrowing his brow. So that's pretty good. Looks nice. I'll take that. And we do get a little display stand and a fire swoosh. So that's pretty good. I like that. Good spread. I do think maybe another hand or two different sweeping poses or something like that for the hand flames, and same thing for the head. So I'll just go 8 out of 10 for accessories. It's definitely enough as is, but definitely could have been more. Not necessarily at this price point, but those are things that we would probably like to have at some point, Jada. Okay, moving on to the articulation. Yeah, technically you can rotate the fire, so if you need it to look like it's going off to the side, you can do that a little bit, so that's good. Otherwise, some ball pegs lets you move the head around as much as you need to. That's pretty good. Shoulder pads, they did exactly the way they should, which is to say they move with the arm, but they are not connected to the arm. They have a little socket in there that lets them move independently, so that's very nice. You can raise the arms up, no problem at all. And then the elbow gives you your 90-degree bend and your bicep swivel. It's basic, but it's all you need. And then, of course, these guys pop off, so they rotate if you want them to, especially on this side. That might be good. All right, for the torso, just like Mega Man, a little bit less range. Well, probably not. He's pretty good. A couple of ball pegs in there, let him move around quite nicely. Shouldn't be a problem. For the hips, kicks high, goes back a little bit out to the side. No problem. Basic articulation, no huge gaps, and it works just fine. I'm not understanding how these companies that aren't doing this can keep getting away with it when we're getting perfect examples. 90-degree knee, you'll get rotation out of the bottom if you want it. I don't see why you would. Feet go all the way back, and not as far forward as I would like. That definitely could be better. Ankle rocker is solid. So articulation on this guy, it's perfectly adequate. It's going to get you in almost every pose you need. The only thing that really needs to change, I think, would be the ankles being able to go farther forward. So 9 out of 10 for the articulation. It is definitely reasonable at the price point. Very, very well executed. And it just goes to show basic, well thought out design is way better than complicated, poorly thought out design. It's amazing to me. It's amazing how much better these figures are than figures from Hasbro. Okay, so let's time for a final verdict right now. I'm gonna say, just like Mega Man, I'm not filming all of these at the exact same time, and I'm probably gonna give them different ratings that don't technically add up exactly right because different things are being weighted different ways and things like that. And I'm like I said, it's not a mathematical equation. I'm not averaging the 3 scores. Anyway, that being said, it's an excellent figure at a wonderful price point. I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10. I do think an alternate head flame would be really nice, a little bit more dynamic, and then maybe some hand flames to something else, because this guy, he's a little bit limited in what you can do just because of the fire nature. Yeah, that's nice, but I would rather see it actually like blowing off to the side, more like that photo on the box or the image on the box. But still, a wonderful release. Very happy to have it. I couldn't be more thrilled with this line. I was when they announced it. Now that they're actually releasing awesome product, I'm just tickled. I love it. All right, guys, there it is. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down will do. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos every day, almost, sort of, kind of, not lately, but I will get back to that. And thousands of videos already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.